Hello everybody and welcome back to Go Go Nippon, my first trip to Japan in the last episode. We hung out with our good love, Akira, and did a bunch of stuff. We went to see Kabuki Theater, watched a scary movie with her. It was a good time! So today, we're gonna be going on to Kyoto. I'm not excited because I'm assuming it's gonna be the exact same Kyoto trip as in the other game. But who knows? There may be new CGs, you never know, we'll see. Yeah! Wallet. Mutta. Kigai wa? Change of clothes. Check. Okay. それでは、一泊二日の京都旅行に。Okay, in that case, our 1 night, 2 day stay in Kyoto. Let's go! It's gonna be like the exact same shit I would assume. But, I thought that was gonna be the intro, but the intro is different, and they mentioned new stuff, so there may be difference. Now, as for the itinerary from Kyoto to Tokyo, we'll get on the Shinkansen from here at Tokyo Station. The Shinkansen! What is it? Are you that fired up about riding the Shinkansen? Of course I am! It's the Shinkansen! Not only is it the fastest train in the world, but you can't deny that it's the safest, most technologically advanced train out there. Wow, is it really? It sure is. I mean, I've been hoping to ride the Shinkansen at least once. Wow, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm sure you are, but first we need to buy our tickets to get on. Sure, let's do that. First, there are several Shinkansen lines when you get out of Tokyo. The one that goes to Kyoto is called the Tokaido Shinkansen. Tokaido Shinkansen, right? Yes, there are also 3 kinds of Tokaido Shinkansen. Those are the Nozomi, the Hikari, and the Kodama. I think we want the Nozomi, right? That's right, the Kodama stops at every station, but the Hikari and Nozomi only stop at the important ones. They're special express trains in every sense of the word. Between the two, Nozomi takes shorter stops at each station than the Hikari. There are about 500 kilometers between Tokyo and Kyoto. The Nozomi makes the trip in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Holy shit, 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's even faster than I thought. By the way, all the trains cost the same amount, so if you're going to a major station like Kyoto or Osaka, it's better to take the Nozomi. I knew it! Yeah! Love live. I see. Now, about the tickets. To ride the Shinkansen, you'll need both a boarding pass and a special express ticket. Then you'll choose between free seating or reserved seating. A boarding pass and express ticket, then free seating or reserved seating. A one-way free seating ticket to Kyoto is about 13,000 yen, but a round-trip ticket is a little cheaper each way, so it's best to go round-trip for your boarding pass whenever possible. Round-trip, got it, I'll remember that. Now then, when you buy them in Japanese JR stations, there are tickets counters called Midori no Madoguchi. Larger stations just use vending machines. Also, in some stations, you can purchase tickets from travel agency counters. That's right, when you're using a rail pass, you can't use the Nozomi, so be careful. If you go to a travel agency, you can sometimes buy them with a bundle with the hotel reservations at a discounted price. Oh, damn. Wow. Oh, right, One-chan, when we go to Kyoto, make sure our seats are... I got it, on the right side, right? Yeah, you always know what I'm thinking, One-chan. Seats on the right side? Why? Because? Nope, I'm not telling you right now. You'll see soon enough. Oh, that was a kawaii nod, or shake of the head. What? Now you got me curious, telling me. No, wait. Dame? Ugh. Then, Makoto? No way, One-chan. Don't tell him. Yes, I know. Ugh. Now, first we'll buy the tickets, then grab our bento and board the train. We're buying bento before we get on the train? Of course, there used to be restaurant cars on the Shinkansen itself. But as travel times got faster and faster, train companies stopped doing it because there was less of a need to eat a full meal on the train. So as a sort of replacement, larger stations started selling special bento known as Ekiben that contains the region's specialty food. Eating an ekuben while chatting with friends and watching the scenery pass by is part of the fun on the train ride. Yeah. In other words, it's a way to make the trip itself special. That's exactly it. It's not just a model of transformation, but a part of the journey. This is getting really exciting. So we just bought our bento and got through the gate. Now we wait for the Shinkansen to arrive. Shinkansen. You're like an excited little kid. But... it's here! Wow, that's the Shinkansen. Yes, it's the newest model, the N700. If you want to know more about trains and shit like this, go check out Rail Wars, the anime. That's literally about trains. It's the real thing. Its form looks like a perfectly streamlined smart train. Also, I can't plug an anime review for that because I actually haven't reviewed Rail Wars. It's one of those animes where it's like, I kind of want to review it, but it's like, I don't know what I could say specially other than like, yeah, it was good, but like, I want a second season. That's all. I mean, when I do my reviews, I want to make sure there's something flary there, right? It's amazing! You can tell it's fast just by looking at it. Well, it's worth noting that since the train first started running, the trip time to Kyoto has been reduced by nearly 1 hour. An hour? That's even more amazing when you put it that way. I wonder how hard they must have worked to shrink the time by an hour. Come on, it's fine for you to be excited, but don't space out or the train will leave without us. Oh wow, it's like animated. So, have you calmed down a little? Huh? You're insane. I've been calm the whole time. Please, you're insane is mine. You're my line. The frames are dropping. You've been spacing out since we got on the train. We've been on the train for 40 minutes now, and you've been acting crazy the whole time. I am not. Don't say you're not spazzing. Come on, let him be. There's nothing wrong with him enjoying himself, right? Yeah, I mean, this is totally amazing. These seats are so comfortable. You can recline them so far. And even though we're racing by 300 kilometers per hour, I don't feel the slightest vibration. Each seat has its own power outlet, and you can even connect it to the internet. I can't believe how advanced Japan is with this stuff like this. See, you're totally spazzing out right now. Now, enough of the flirting, you two. Huh? Well, we weren't flirting. Yes, we were. Don't lie. Really? From my point of view, it looked exactly like flirting. That's why I'm telling you we are not. It's going to sound like you were giving how much you were given how much you're denying it. Come on, One-chan, you're always quick to say such strange things. Sorry. Anyway, oh, it's about time. What is it? Is it about time for what? Remember earlier when I asked for the seats on the right side of the train? You're going to learn why very soon. It's in sight, you two, look. It's Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji desu. That's Japan's greatest mountain, Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji-san. That snow-crested peak. Mashiro na yuki o tataite itadaki. What? That gentle slope. So peaceful and solemn, but with such a presence. How can I describe it? To just call it beautiful would feel cliche. It's the 3,776 meter tall. It's 70 tall. The tallest active volcano in Japan. Huh? Active volcano? Mount Fuji is an active volcano? Yes, it is. It lasted up to 300 years ago, and until 15 years ago, scientists thought it might have gone dormant. But when they learned that it was still active internally, they reclassified it as an active volcano. That's an active volcano. They say that the last time it erupted, the ash reached all the way to Tokyo. That's so far. When you look at the data, we see that Mount Fuji eruptions don't have a routine cycle, but the longest it's remained dormant was a little under 300 years. And as One-chan said, the last eruption was about 300 years ago. That means it could erupt at any time. Yes. There are various theories as to why it's called Mount Fuji. One meaning of the word Fuji is, quote, unique, while another is undying. Some theorize that the name stems from unique mountain or undying mountain. An undying mountain. Yes, that explanation would suggest that, as an active volcano, the ancients thought of it as a living mountain. That makes sense. crazy people from back in the day would think that. A living mountain? Say, can you climb to the top of Mount Fuji? Yes, you can, although you can only get halfway by car. In the past, you need to climb on foot. Generally speaking, lodges on the mountainside only open in the summer, around July and August, so if you want to climb it, you need to go during that period. I see. Mount Fuji, Japan's greatest mountain. Someday, I'd like to climb it for myself. No, I would not. Thank you for riding with us today. Kyoto, Kyoto, please be sure to collect... Kyoto, please be sure to bring collect your belongings before you disembark. I thought it was the guy saying it for a second. No, it was the announcer guy. Hey, look at all the dark light. Dark. Kyoto! Hey, the music bag. Ah, we're here! This is Japan's old capital, Kyoto. Kyoto. Kyoto was Japan's capital for over 1,000 years until it was changed over to Tokyo in 1867. Oh, I was reading that backwards. For over 1,000 years. Kyoto became the capital in the year 794. Before that, Japan's government was centered in the Nara prefecture, and the capital would shift around when head of state changed. But in 794, they built a new city on this land. It was known as Heian-kyo, and its layout was based on the contemporary capital of China. That city remained as Japan's capital for more than 1,000 years. Such a long time, huh? But what's wrong? What year did the Edo period start? In 1603. Wasn't Tokyo at the center of the government during the Edo period? In that case, Kyoto should have stopped being the capital that year. You make a good point. It's true that the center of Japan government and Japanese government was moved into Tokyo during the Edo period. But while the shogun had the real power in the Edo period, the formal head of the government was not a shogun himself, but the emperor here in Kyoto. So even during that time, the Japanese government was technically centered in Kyoto. And even when it officially moved to Edo, Kyoto and Osaka continued to grow as they were still next door to the capital, right? That's right. Sonotori da. I see. Naruhodo ne. So you could say Kyoto is the city that maintains the traditions, forms, and culture of Japan's good old days. I see. I guess Kyoto is the first thing I think of when it comes to traditional Japanese culture. But still. But you'd rather be seeing the town for yourself instead of listening to our lectures, right? How did you know that? Because we can read your face like a book, right, Aki-chan? Yeah, especially when you're thinking perverted things. No, wait. A response like that. Wait a minute, you mean you do think of those things? No, that was just an automatic response, that's all. What? Are you saying we're lacking in womanly charms? What are you talking about? Do you want me to think those things or not? That's... Ugh, you idiot, of course I don't want you to think about it, you perv. I told you I'm not... Come now, Aki-chan, let's put this strange quarrel to rest. Concerning the earlier issue, it's no wonder you're more interested in the modern town. Kyoto is still a major metropolis, after all. So it is still gradually changing as the new period and shops come in. I see, now that you mention it, I can see that it's true. Well, as long as we're here, we really should look all around. So let's cut to the chit-chat. It's time for the quick tour. Yes, it is. That's what I've been waiting for. So, where should we start? First, a word of warning about getting around in Kyoto. Getting around in Kyoto? Yes, Kyoto is dotted with all kinds of temples and shrines, so it's surprisingly difficult to get around in it. The easiest method is bus line managed by the city bus. Oh god, my socks smell really bad. Bus, huh? I'm not good at those. I get motion sickness. It's not as if we will be on them for very long, though. Don't worry. The city bus has a day pass that allows you to ride as much as you'd like for 500 yen. So here, this is your portion. Oh, thanks. That's my One-chan, so well prepared. Tourists mostly use the 100, 101, and 102 bus lines because there is a lot to see among them. Lately, the buses that tourists use most often have been given easily distinguishable car designs and gimmicks, so let's all use the buses a lot. Okay, then once more, where should we go first? Let me see. I think that's the best place, don't you? That? I'm assuming. I have no idea, actually. First, the entry fee there. Oh, a temple. Okay. Oh, I remember this temple! Where the guy jumped off and died. Thinking he'd come back to life or something. This is Kiyomizu-dera, the most famous temple in Kyoto. Dera, a Japanese suffix meaning temple. Kiyomizu-dera. They say Kiyomizu-dera was completed in the year 778, before Kyoto became the capital. Before Kyoto was the capital? There are temples that old? Kiyomizu-dera is also known for how the main hall bulges out of the side of the mountain. The main hall has been rebuilt over and over due to the fires, but the last rebuild was in 1633, so it's still quite old. It was still built around 400 years ago then. It's standard for the stone buildings of America and Europe to survive that long, but for these Eastern wooden structures to last so long shows the care that goes into them. I know! Do you know that Japanese phrase jump from the stage at Kiyomizu, meaning to plunge headfirst into something? The stage at Kiyomizu, it refers to this building? Yes, apparently, if you gather up your courage and jump from here, your wish will come true. They say that in the old days, many men really would make the jump to show their determination. From here? But it's really far down. Yeah, they say some people died trying it. Honestly, men are such idiots. I can't help but agree with you there. As long as we're here, let's go to the Ottawa waterfall below. The Ottawa waterfall? Yes, it's a small waterfall consisting of 3 narrow streams. The waterfall has existed for over 1,000 years, and back then people said the water would confer wealth or long life, and they loved it, and it was like the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth? Okay, let's check it out. Is this gonna be like where I get the 3 drinks, and if I drink from all 3, I'm a fucking faggot? Yeah, I was right. Yeah, I think so. Each stream confers of its own blessings. From right to left, they confer academic success, health, and love respectively. Academics, health, and love. So then, starting from the right, I take the water from each and drink it. Okay, we'll start with the water of academics. Now the water of health, the water of love. Ooh, delicious. Huh? Now that I think about it, you guys only drank from health and love springs and none from the academics one. How come? Well, right. Yes. What? You both look so serious. The truth is, it's said that anyone greedy enough to try to drink from all 3 rivers will be denied their blessing. What? Wait, is that true? Yes, I'm sorry to say. No, wait, why did you tell me that earlier? You guys are dicks. Because it wouldn't have been funny. Sorry about that. So I didn't earn any blessings today. I should have used the blessings in love at least. Though now that I think about it, Makoto and Akira both drank from the love spring. First, the entry fee, there. Now, our next Kyoto sightseeing spot is here. Oh, this is the golden one. Whoa! This is the Kinkaku-ji. Yeah, I know this one, Kinkaku-ji. This is the one I can pronounce without any difficulty. A Japanese suffix meaning temple, an alternative reading of Dera, Ji. Kinkaku. Kinkaku. The kin in Kinkaku is a reference to the grand golden color of the temple, but that's just his nickname. I'm pretty sure the color of the Kinkaku-ji is golden leaves, right? What's its real name? I know it. It's a Rokuonji, right? That's right. You really know your stuff, Aki-chan. Hold your applause until the end. I still know a lot more about the Rokuonji. Then why don't you tell us all about it, Akira? Hey, makasetoke. Oh, I pronounced that wrong. Makasetote. Makasetote. Fufu makasetote. Toite. 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 The fact is, there was already a temple here in the 13th century, but the noble who commissioned it was put to death for conspiring against the emperor and fell into ruin. Then, around the end of the 14th century, the shogun, Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, fixed it up and built a new temple, which he called the Rokuonji. Wow, is that really what happened? Yes, she's exactly right. Wait a minute, why are you asking One-chan for confirmation? No reason, just wanted to be sure. Let me tell you, this isn't all I know. I also know that when the temple was completed, the grounds around it were larger and completely burned down once. Burned down? The temple? Was it in a war or what? But, sorry, it burned down to just 60 years ago. It was arson. Arson? You mean someone set it to fire? Yeah, in 1950 by a young monk still in training. A monk committed arson? That's right. The temple was already a famous national treasure at the time, so it caused a huge stir. Oh my god, the freaking frames are dying on me. What's with the frame rate, dude? Whoa, yo, it's all of a sudden the frame rate's like 1. What's going on? What now? It's telling me 0. Don't lie to me, come on. Then, okay. Yo, the frame rate's so bad right now. I don't know what's up. Then a world famous author named Mishima Yuko wrote a novel about it. The name of the novel, of course, is Kinkaku-ji. Let's start with the frame rate. I'm gonna fix this really quick. Okay, so I think I fixed it. It seemed like it was because of the file because I'm recording using Fraps when I record Go Nippon. But it would appear that like the file ended up being like 13 gigs so far. So it was like a bit like freaking out. So I just stopped, like stopping the recording seemed like it fixed it. I do have over 90 gigs free on my computer, and if anything happens, I can just record and save it on my separate hard drive. So let's continue on. Wow, Akira, you really know a lot about the Kinkaku-ji. I told you I knew a lot about it. So, have you read the novel? No. Oh dear. Mishima Yukio's Kinkaku-ji has been translated to many other languages, so you should read it if you get a chance. Oh god. Sure I will. He probably wrote it after visiting the place for himself, so it should be more interesting now than if I had read it beforehand. I'll be sure to look around for it when I get home. I think I might try to read it when I get home too. We're gonna end the episode when the day in Kyoto ends, by the way. I see. I think you could get a lot out of it, Aki-chan. The Kinkaku-ji, huh? The walls are covered with gold leaf, so it's gold in the name, as the name suggests. I knew it. I heard that ancient era referred to Japan as Japan, the land of gold. But looking at this, I can see why Marco Polo would have felt that way. What a faggot. Oh, this is where we see Miko, right? What do you think of Kyoto so far? Let's see, at first I wasn't really seeing the town's history and culture at all. But the more we walk around, the more I feel like the traditional atmosphere is seeping in all over. That's right. Kyoto has a lot of temples and shrines, so you should walk from temple to temple and shrine to shrine. Just walking around can give you a deep impression of the town. Yeah, that's really true. But how do I say this? It's more than that. There's... like, even among the smallest shops in town, so many of them sell traditional craft goods. So that also gives me the impression of a town that values its history. That's true. While Kyoto continues to expand, the city as a whole protects its traditions. I think that's what makes it so amazing. Preserving its history while taking in the new, eh? But now that I think about it, I think Tokyo has a similar sort of atmosphere. With Kyoto, it just feels like a whole lot sharper. When I think about it in a way, Kyoto really is like a representation of Japan itself. Ah, that's it. There's one thing that surprised me in coming to Kyoto. Surprised you? What is it? You know, the language? Language? Ah, I see, because it's not like Tokyo Japanese. That's right, it's a dialect, right? The accent and the words people use here are nothing like Japanese I'm used to. That's true. People in Kyoto, Osaka, and Kobe all speak what's called a Kansai band. So Kansai dialect, yeah. The Kansai band, because it's the Kansai region. Come on, guys. Yes, Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto have all their own dialects, but the general term for it is Kansai band. Kansai band, I see. And if you don't know, most of the time in anime and like video games and manga, when it comes to Japan, if they ever end up in Kyoto, or if there's a reference to Kyoto, or a character is from Kyoto, they are always referred to as Kansai band. Even if they're from Osaka, usually like they might have a normal accent, but Kyoto is the big one that like you hear the Kansai band from. I don't know why. It's because I think because Kyoto used to be the capital, you immediately think Kyoto is like the main thing, and not to mention many anime and manga characters get to Kyoto for their school trip because it's just like that, you know. So let's continue on. It's hard for even native Japanese to imitate Kansai band. It's a unique way of speaking. I see, but how should I say? It feels like it has nuances that I don't hear in the Japanese of Tokyo. That's true. It's fast-paced and kind of funny. That's right. When you listen in on exchange, it almost sounds like you might burst out laughing. You remember what I said before, that Kyoto was the capital of Japan long ago? While that was going on, the city of Osaka was also developing next door. Osaka developed as a merchant city. They based their lives around merchant culture. So I think, oh god, no, come back. So I think their language developed around the interaction between the shop owner and customer. Making the customer feel comfortable is important in the business world. You mean they make them laugh so they can relax and feel more like buying things? It's just my own speculation, but I do wonder if it's true. It actually makes sense. The real Kansai has done a lot of development has done a lot to develop comedians and comedy culture. So you might hear Kansai band on TV too. Now I think about it, it sounds really cute when girls speak it too. Huh. We don't speak Kansai band. Does that mean you don't think we are cute? That is not it. That's not what I was trying to say at all. So you're saying you wish we both spoke Kansai Ben? That's right. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly the same complaint. Even though we get Kansai Ben, I think we make a good comedy team, don't you? Anyway, we have one more place to go today. It's very close to where we are here now. What kind of temple is it this time? Oh my, we're not going to a temple. Really? Then where are we? Very Japanese land. Ta-da! This is Tokyo's premier entertainment district, Gion. Gion. Wow, the buildings here have an older, more refined feeling to them. Gion is the gateway to the Yasaka Shrine, so it's basically a town that popped up along the road to the shrine. The name Gion comes from the fact that the Yasaka Shrine was once known as the Gion Shrine. I see. So is there something on this street? Like what? Well, it's certainly a very beautiful street and it has a refined atmosphere, but isn't there like a famous building or... Yeah, there's nothing like that here, but in its place... Aha, look there, walking towards us. Walking? Ah! There's a woman walking towards us, with tiny red lips on a face made up in white, in such a beautiful kimono. Is that a high-class geisha? Sort of. Geisha is used only in Tokyo. In Kyoto, they're called geiko. Geiko. Gaiko. Gaiko. No, it says geiko, but Gaiko. You can save that 50% or more on car insurance when you switch to Gaiko, or the maiko. Yes, and young apprentice geiko are known as maiko. She looks like young, so she's probably a maiko. Ah, she just turned to us and bowed. She's so cute. Hey, Onesan, I hear back in the day, maiko were girls around 10 years old. Is that true? That is what they say. 10 years old? They start that young? Yes, that was because maiko and geiko would play instruments at banquets, sing, and dance. They were like flowers used to add life to a party. And men of high standing and rank would come to them. So in order to keep them from offending anyone, they receive strict instruction and discipline and manners from a very young age. That's actually pretty surprising. I'm assuming like people our age now wouldn't want to do that because we have so many technology and all this stuff. No one has manners anymore. That's the kind of system it was. So for all this beauty, their world was a harsh one too. Yes, however, it's now seen as problematic for a child to work so hard, so nowadays you can't begin maiko training until you finish school. I saw on TV once that there are fewer women who wanted to become maiko too. I guess that's true in all countries. Jobs that were standard long ago are gradually declining. It's too bad, but... yeah. Ah, but the TV also said that people seem to want to do it more now compared to before. But they say that the training is so strict that many people just up and quit. Just because you want it doesn't mean you'll succeed. But maiko and geiko are part of an amazing culture. There must be more people who want to carry it on. That's it. As long as we're here, why don't we call a geiko-san tonight? And unfortunately, that's not possible. Huh? Why not? The girls will refuse first-time customers. Most people have to be referred by an existing customer. I see. There are some exceptions lately, and I've heard there are some events where you can hire a geiko for a brief period of time. But it probably takes a lot of money, right? I see. I guess that's true. Yeah, I understand that. It was just an idea. I can tell you're pretty upset about it just from the way you're talking. I told you I was just joking. I don't think you were. Anyway, as long as we're here, we should stop by the Yasuka Shrine, then back to our hotel. Okay. Okay. Why couldn't it just say both of us okay instead of separate? Whew! The Yasuka Shrine sure was beautiful. Well, let's head to our hotel for the night. Sounds good. Just what kind of hotel are we staying at? Hey, One-san, are you sure it's down this way? Yes, I'm sure it's just a little further. Wow, this looks like a regular civilian street. Is there really a hotel in this area? Oh, there it is here. Huh? It really looks like... Isn't this just someone's house? It looks that way, doesn't it? But this is a very fine inn. Wow. They call them Machia, or Machia. Kyoto was originally a castle town, so there were a lot of buildings like these where merchants and artisans would use them both as work and living space. As time passed, they've deteriorated and more have been demolished. But recently there's been a movement to reinforce these old buildings and renovate them into something new. But the quality of the old day remains. For instance, the outer facade is different from the building we live in, right? It takes things like not letting you see from inside the house and keeping cats and dogs from peeing on the walls into consideration. They're even worried about cats and dogs? Isn't it funny? So now there are a lot of inns that make use of the old Kiyomizu-dera. This is one of them. So this is what originally an artisan's house? It's entirely possible. This is an inn? A lot of Japanese hotels charge by person rather than by number of rooms, but the machi are more mainstream and charge by room. So if you're staying with your friends or family, they're your best bet. On the other hand, they don't feed you, so you may have to prepare your food yourself or pick up food elsewhere. But you're gonna stay in a place where that's pure Japan, so I don't mind at all. That's true, and even without that, Kyoto has a lot of delicious restaurants. Well, let's go inside. Oh, look out! What? Ah! Ow! 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 Are you okay? Yeah. These buildings were made with the heights of old-time Japanese people in mind, so the ceilings are very low. That means tall men and foreigners have to be careful, otherwise they'll bump their heads just like you did. Also, the houses themselves are very small. The stairs are narrow and sometimes steep, so be careful. I got it. I'll be more careful on moving around. Whew! What are you shouting for? You know, Akira, this house is so small. Okay, from what I remember, we stayed at an actual hotel in the original Go-Go Nippon, so this is actually new. You don't need to say it so loudly. And it's all tatami. All the furniture is made out of wood. Whoa, there's a tiny garden too. Look, the bathtub, it's made of wood. This is great. Really Japan. Hey, it's not worth yelling about. Ow, I told you. Our time in Kyoto, it had its own appeal, totally different from Tokyo. Our hotel might be more humble than the halls where Geiko performed, but it was still a nice place. The food in Kyoto tastes completely different from the food, oh god, the food in Tokyo, too. I think the episode's about to end, too, so I don't want to fucking pause and just reload. Kyoto was a nice place, not all inferior to Tokyo. But being here for just one day doesn't seem like enough to experience it at all. Why is it being so dickish, man? We're going back to Tokyo tomorrow, and in 3 days I'll be heading home. I've got to make the most of Japan in time I've got left. Is the episode over? Hey, I can see that stupid like frames, but it's the episode over! Yay! In the next episode, thank you guys for watching. In the next episode, we're going to continue with our Kyoto trip. I'm actually pretty not excited. There wasn't much different there. See you guys next time. It's got to be maybe out.